Hey, it's Rachel from All About Planners. This video is a review of the At a Glance Teacher Planner. So the At a Glance planners are very functional, however they don't seem to get much, publicity or mention, probably because they're functional but they're not like terribly pretty. They're more so functional than colourful and decorative. However, they're still really good planners, they're affordable, so let's have a closer look at one of them. So this one is the teacher planner. However, if you follow my blog, you know that I like to hack teacher planners and turn them into just like an everyday normal life planner. The reason being is because they have the different categories for each subject, which I then turn into different planning categories for my life, like cleaning, project, travel planning, blog, etc. You get the idea. I like that it keeps it all separate and compartmentalized, and they also tend to have a lined writing space, which I always find very helpful to keep my planner neat. So this one is the At a Glance letter size, as you can see, academic year teacher planner. So it is like a larger page size, which does mean that it has a bit more weight than a smaller page size planner. It is still quite thin though, only I'd say about not quite 1 centimeter thick. There's not really much room on that coil though. If you wanted to do decorating with stickers, it's already like at capacity. However, it has a very functional layout, so let's have a closer look. So the cover has this frosted thing protecting it, and then it's just like a thin plasticky material. Does have that really pretty gold foil. As you can see, it's got a nice shimmer, nice and simple. And then we go into the pages. So we've got a pocket folder, which is double-sided, very handy and practical, and at the front for convenient access. And then we have the planning pages. So you've got the This Belongs To page, dates at a glance, and then the tabs for each month, which are, they're just cardstock with a bit of laminate, and they do feel a bit flimsy. So that is definitely a con. Not sure how well they'll hold up throughout the year, however they are protected by the cover, because it covers them, so maybe they'll be okay. Alright, so let's get back into the planner. Righty-o, so at the front, I'm going all over the place, sorry. Okay, so at the front we have the class birthdays page, then the student contacts, and then we go into the monthly calendar. So, first impression, this looks a little busy. It's got all these like numbers on it. I'm not sure if that's a teacher thing or what it's for, but to me it's kind of just adding clutter to the page. It is a US calendar, so it has US and some Canada holidays pre-printed on it. Not sure why planners bother putting the moon cycle on it. I had a reader tell me they use it for gardening, so I guess you could use it for that, but to me it's kind of just a waste of space. You've got a lined notes sidebar, and because of the large page size, you get nice big boxes to plan each day and a big sidebar as well. The mini month at a glance calendars for the previous and the next month. Monthly calendar starts on a Sunday. Note that the weekly spread is just a 5-day week, so it is like a proper teacher planner. And doesn't have the weekend days. So in terms of being able to have enough space to plan a weekend, might be a bit pressed for space because you're only going to have these boxes to do it in. So the weekly spread, lots of lines, which is great. You've got the shading to separate each category, because it always drives me nuts when I see lots of lines and I'm trying to like cluster things, and it's always more difficult than when they, if they don't like pre-shade it in like this one. You've got space to put, you could put subject over here, or you could hack this into a life planner and make this your weekend planning space. So you got your Monday to Friday, and then you could make this weekend with your Saturday and Sunday plans, or you could make it a most important task for the week, a meal planning section, project planning. If you're planning a trip, you could put some travel planning in there. So, I mean, you don't just have to put just the subject or your planning category, because I feel like that would be a bit of wasted space. The margins are quite big, so you could put, cleaning there, your heading, and then you still get the whole column to plan in. The line spacing is pretty good, not too close together, not too far apart, and you do have the nice wide boxes for each day because this is a letter size planner. So this is continued throughout for the month. And then we go into the next monthly section, and as you can see, there is no divider to separate them, which is probably why the planner is able to be so thin. It just jumps straight into the next month. So you probably know what I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to see if any of the months, yeah they do, split the boxes in two. So it really bugs me when planners do this. I don't know why they don't just restart the numbering on the top row. So, if 29 ends over here, then you would start 30 up the top rather than split the box like that because it's such a useless amount of space to plan in, especially when they put all this stuff on the pages, which just clutters up the boxes and takes away even more planning space. So if I was going to use this, I would white that out and then restart the numbering up here and make it more practical and user-friendly. I don't know how many times I mentioned that in video reviews, yet planner companies still seem to do it. I don't know why. Okay, so continuing through the rest of the pages of the planner, I will be doing a pen test. The link will be in the description box below, because having just seen this, I can see that the colors, see how it's got a lot of ghosting? You can see the lines through the boxes on the back, which implies to me that the pen test is probably not going to go over too well. There's probably going to be a lot of ghosting, but we shall have to check. And then at the very back, just want to see if there's some notes pages. Okay, no notes pages, however you do get this class records page. Now, even if you're not a teacher, these pages are still quite handy for things like habit tracking. Rather than ruling it up for each month, you can just keep it here all together on these pages. Also really good for blog post workflow. There's a couple of different ways I've used those sort of pages. You do get quite a few of them, and they do have that shaded line as well, so it's easier to see what line you're up to. And then we go into the seating chart section, which, yeah, I wouldn't use that obviously because I'm not a teacher. However, you could do this with meal planning and put some sticky notes like over the top of the boxes, and then you could have your meal planning ideas saved in your planner at the back here, and then you can rearrange them, you know, like week 1 I'm going to cook these, and you move the sticky notes around. I'm not sure if I explained that very well, but that's one way that I do meal planning with just sticky notes. The small post-it note 3M ones are my favorite. Okay, lined note space at the back where I'll be doing that pen test. And then you've also got the holidays list for 4 years worth with, we've only got US, Canada, Mexico, so basically just that part of the world's holidays on here, which given how much space that already takes up on the calendar, it's probably a good thing to not cluttering up with even more countries' holidays. This page feels like plasticky, so you kind of lose a normal lined notes writing space. It's not cardstock, it's not paper, it's like a thick plasticky feel, so you really only get like one notes page, which to me feels a bit stingy. I don't know why planners always go so light on when it comes to notes pages, like include more, we need more. And then you've got at the back just a plain back cover, which is a little disappointing that it doesn't even copy this pretty pattern from the front. Gone a bit cheap and just done the solid color at the back. So, I mean, the planner is good for a basic teacher planner where you just want the essentials, nothing extra. Keep in mind that the paper quality is probably not that great. I will be doing that pen test though to see. The tabs are a bit flimsy, but they are protected, as you can see, by the cover that extends beyond it. I don't think the cover would get that damaged throughout the year because it is protected with the frosted cover, and it also has rounded corners. And these tend to hold up quite well, these frosted things. Much better than laminate, and that's why I prefer these as well. So yeah, good basic planner, very typical of the At a Glance company. I'll have that link to the pen test in the description box below. See you in the next video.